Hey guys, Saf here with another Raid Shadow Legends video. Now, I haven't been able to make a video for the last couple of days. I've been a little bit ill, unfortunately, and you can still hear it in my voice. I've not been great, but I did want to get on today to do a video on this drama that has ensued in the community around Wixwell. And Wixwell is getting nerfed and all these things. I feel like I may have had a part to play in this in the way that I presented a change in my recent patch notes video, which was talking a little bit about a new line of code that was added in the client that basically suggested there would be a cap on shield multipliers. Now, in that video, I was very explicitly clear in saying that there was nothing coded to any change of any champion. And I actually said in that video that I was looking to see if anyone had noticed anything in game, because I tried to test different shield champions. I thought maybe it could be related to Aselin, the stalwart, who obviously has a weird shield mechanic. I tested Wixwell, I think I tested Yannicka. I tested pretty much anyone that had a shield, and I could see no material gameplay change. Now, that doesn't mean that there isn't some sort of change going on, and it didn't mean that there wasn't like a change coming in the future, but I put it in there to say, hey, has anyone noticed any changes to the shield multiplier? But at no point did I ever say that, hey, by the way, guys, big drama, Wixwell is getting nerfed. And I feel like this is the problem when some people assess a line of code who are not experienced in understanding what these things mean. I know that Nubs did a video on it, talking a little bit around what it meant. Could it be something suggesting it? I know I've seen other people in the community that are very passionate about the Yannicka teams basically raise these issues, and I've now seen a ton of Reddit threads with obviously a lot of people massively concerned about their Wixwell teams getting nerfed from this change. So I'm just kind of here to kind of lay out what I think is happening here right now, okay? I think this field is for something that they're going to do in the future that might not even be related to Wixwell at all. It could be that there's some sort of mechanic coming in the future that they need to pre-prepare the game for a shield cap of whatever it is. So this field has nothing to suggest right now that there is any modifications coming to any sort of shield mechanic, because I've tested it and it doesn't change anything. That doesn't mean that something won't happen in the future, but at that point, playing will tell us what's going on in that sense. So I think this is where people need to be a little bit careful when they assess game code. I obviously do it with some level of control and testing and understanding, so that they don't create a speculative thing, which then creates a problem. That being said, and this is me wandering into dangerous territories again about Wixwell, because obviously when I did my Wixwell video around what was happening with his shield growth, why was his shield growth terrible originally and then really good, and how potentially this is a problem in the way that they've set it up, I got a lot of negative feedback from a lot of people going, oh, you shouldn't nuke our champions and all this kind of thing. But I called it back then, saying that this was a bad game design mechanic, that this could be potentially a problem in the future. And I do wonder if Plarium are now realizing this problem, because effectively any new content piece that they're ever going to release, Wixwell, if you have him, kind of makes that content redundant. And what I mean by this is, right now we've had very short form content recently, in the sense that we've had, you know, Curse City here, where we've had Amius, kind of a short form one-time boss. We've had some dungeon content such as like Sand Devil and Phantom Shogun, which are very much one-time, very short run content. So in those situations, the Wixwell shield is not really valuable. But in any form of long content, like clan bosses, this is a problem. We see that pretty much the top teams now are all Wixwell teams. Look at my clan here, massively out damaging it. You don't even need to run really, like, this team here should not be doing 429 million, but it does it because Geomancer can last until 1500 turns, right? So that's wildly made clan boss sort of irrelevant, which is fine. A lot of people say it's old content. I'm not trying to go back into that debate. That is a done debate. In Hydra, we see Oz as well. Very similar things. Okay, it can't be a Trunder team. And if they were to ever touch Wixwell, I would absolutely expect that it's not a one solution. It's like a global solution, that we start targeting this team at the same time, right? This would have to be a everything in one go move. If they were to do it. I'm not saying they are, and I'm not in this video saying it's happening. I'm simply saying that I don't think anyone would accept any modifications to any sort of Hydra content if Trunda wasn't the first thing that you did, because Trunda is the #1 problem. But when we look at these teams here, you can see that these Wixwell teams, if you take Trunda out, are the next best teams, pretty much. These are only trumped by ultra min-maxed Toshiro teams or ultra min-maxed Iosu teams, a new guy that's just come out. But this is pretty easy for you to be able to build this in the sense that once you set up the team correctly, you got like, what is this, triple extender cooldown, and you set up the shields. Okay, it's a long fight, but it easily outdamages anything in the game, and you can get a Yannicka by going into the clan shop, so it's not like you need to pull some of these champions. You know, this is pretty much a fusion champion or a guaranteed champion in Demitha, guaranteed champion in Nia, a fusion champion in Epic, a fusion champion in Wixwell. This is basically a free-to-play team if you have been playing the game for a long time. Now, obviously, if you're a new player, that would be different. But this is what I'm saying about the Wixwell team, how in long content, he makes the game mode very beatable. So what I'm suggesting here is if there is a plan to add a new clan boss or some sort of new content piece, which we've seen little hints in the game code localization about different things, not anything in any detail at all, which is why I've not even covered it. It's literally like one line of a localization, that this may be something that they're doing. Well, I could see them instantly going, well, hang on, how do we make compelling long-form content when we have a champion that basically makes that boss irrelevant? Unless that boss removes a shield, which he could do, but then you could just run a protection set and then start growing it, so that could easily be countered. It just makes this very difficult. So I can see why they maybe are looking at shield usage in general, if that shield usage would make it impossible for them to create long-form content and in terms of new content. They're not going to do it just to punish you in Clan Boss because, like many of you said, this is end game content. So I suppose what I'm trying to get at in this video is just a clarification that what this line in the code means. There is a new line called Shield Cap Multiplier. It translates to a value of 4. It has no actual gameplay modification that I have seen so far as of right now. It is not doing anything. This means that it has nothing to do with Wixwell potentially. This assumption that because it says shield cap, it must be to do with Wixwell has been a creation of suggestion, not a creation of fact. And we deal with facts on this channel. So basically what I'm saying is it has no correlation as of right now with all the information available. So we just carry on as normal. Plarium haven't come out and said yes or no, because to them probably it's just like a content creator fantasy that's been created. I don't know if they've said anything in the program or anything has been said there. It may have been released, I don't know. All I know is right now, that is all that the line of code suggests in the live client, that there is a value and it has no usage on any shield champion that I've tested so far. That is all we need to know, and that is all we need to worry about right now until they change something and add new game content or add new features or add new champions, right? There's no point guessing and worrying about what they're going to do until they actually do it, and then we deal with it at that time. So I just wanted to basically bring out and clarify, because I know that some people have been said it's probably like it's come out of my video a little bit and maybe it's been misinterpreted that I was trying to suggest that it was something coming. I haven't. It was simply me asking, hey, has anyone noticed anything going on with any shield champion that they might have used that might have been changed from that change, because I can't find anything. So that was all that was. So just a short video here. I'm still a bit under the weather. I am going to try and stream tonight as I normally do, because I have a lot of Hydra rebuilding to do and I've got a few new champions to try out. So hopefully you should see by the time this video comes out, schedule stream if I'm still feeling okay. You can still hear my voice is a little bit rough. Tough better for you. This is what happens when you go outside as a gamer. You get a bit sick. But yeah, I just wanted to answer this because I know that it's been flying around the weekend and I didn't want it to sound or come across like I was suggesting something from the game code. I want to be very clear. There is no suggestion that anything is being nerfed in the game. There is simply a new line of code that we don't actually have any gameplay usage for. So let me know in the comments below, guys, what your feelings and thoughts are on this issue that has arisen over the weekend. I will be back now. I'm working on the Slayer video finally, trying to get down into details exactly what multipliers count and what works for Slayer, so that we can start doing proper tests and comparisons to see if Slayer is actually worth it now, because they have made loads of changes. So hopefully I will be getting that done this week, and also getting on top of lots of different things and trying to get back into the swing of things, because I have been a bit quiet on videos. Hopefully we'll be live tonight. Got some 3 champions to rebuild for Hydra. It's going to be quite fun. I also need to do a bit of a gear cleanse because we are back in Yes, horrible territory again. I'd imagine many of you experience exactly the same thing as this with at the moment these days with all sets you need. So we probably need to do a bit of a gear cleanse. And thankfully, they've given us a nice little 3-hour re-gearing. So that's actually a great time for us to use that. So really, thanks, player. Really appreciate it. Let me know, guys, what you think in the comments below. And I will catch you guys in the next video.